Hey everyone, welcome back to Pick of the Week. This time I'm featuring the 19th studio album by OCs titled Orc on Castle Face Records from 2017. Okay guys, so even though this is their 19th album, which is pretty incredible, this is the first record I've heard from the band. Now they've had many different name changes over that time period, starting with OCS to the OCs to the OCs to finally OCs. I'm not sure why they decided to change it so much. It doesn't always denote a lineup change, so whatever, it doesn't matter. This band, what can I tell you? It is, well, I'll preface this by saying at first I didn't get this record. I put it on and maybe I wasn't in the right mindset, but it just kind of came off a little off-putting to me. It was a little abrasive. It reminded me a lot of King Gizzard, but I don't know, something about it, I didn't like it. But then, you know what? I gave it some more time and I listened to it. Well, I listened to it a couple of times and then it hit home. Oh yeah, it hit home and it just struck a nerve in me. Oh man, this record is incredibly meditative. And what I mean by that, it puts you in a trance. The drum and bass and guitar and vocals, it's just, all of these songs, it's sending you down this path and it's taking you along whether you want to or not. Let's go track by track. Kicking things off, track 1 on side A is The Static God. And here, right away, you are woken up with almost an alarm bell ringing of snare hits. It's just rapid fire, pop, 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 pop. And it goes, and it does not let up this entire song. It's a barrage of guitar, bass, and drums. The vocals on here are not front and center in the mix. They're kind of right with everything else. So it kind of gives a more of a live feel. In fact, the whole album kind of feels like that. But man, just the quality of the singing voice, it's more of a upper register, eagle-like, hawk-like, screeching. Really dig it on this track.
I don't know what's it like. Under the end, dressing an urge, will you satisfy me? What's it like? Laughing the rubble, what's it like?
Coming up fast is Night Expo, and this has a really nice use of synthesizers. Track 3 is Animated Violence. This one's got a great groove to it, and it's a little bit more gritty. There's a little bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more aggressive. I also really enjoy these arpeggiated guitar licks that happen throughout this. Really cool stuff. Love the tone on here. Flipping over to side B, we have Keys to the Castle. And here I love how the lyrics are delivered in a very syncopated style.
Piles of bodies fill the garden, smash the hedgerow with their blowing, stop the panic, ugly.
Every so often, after the end of a phrase, he does this sort of vocalized yelp kind of a thing with it has a lot of reverb on it, and I love that effect. And you hear it throughout this record. It's sort of a signature sound, I think, and it kind of reminds me of the rockabilly hiccup that you'll hear in rockabilly music, and it's really effective on here. Another thing I like is the guitars. I don't know if it's two guitars going at the same time or if it's just overdubbed or what, but whatever it is, it kind of gives that Thin Lizzy kind of sound, but it's more, it has more of like a minor tinge, more of a darker tinge. It's really effective. Okay, this song is going at a pretty good clip, and then all of a sudden it just drops it a gear and it slows it down and it becomes this fuzzed out odyssey of like Wurlitzer type whooshing sounds, synthesizers going crazy. It's very spaced out. And at moments there's these really effective violin sections and really nice droning viola sections. They happen concurrently and it just creates this very thick atmosphere of a song. It's like getting hotboxed, really. I really, really dig this. Oh man, it's like Hunter S. Thompson going on. Now don't get too comfortable because we kick things back up with Jettison. This is track 2 on side B, and the bass on here is working overtime, providing this super funky line throughout. Oh my gosh, does it shine on here. The vocals are really cool because it has this almost ghost-like whispery type effect on top of that. It's in the background, but it's mirroring. It's like an overdub, but it's also wistful and sort of coming in and out of the mix in terms of the volume. Really, really effective. Gives a haunting feel about it. You know what? This might be my favorite song off this album. I really dig it.
Who likes sugar in their coffin? The underground is twice as nice.
Flipping over to side C, we have Cadaver Dog, and I really enjoy the build-up in this song. There's like this constant tension throughout, and I think that could be possibly from the organ that's out front and center in the mix. Now, while I enjoy that, it actually really reminds me of Procol Harum, A Wider Shade of Pale, and I have to assume that was intentional because a lot of their sound comes from that era of music. And the guitar soloing on here is really great. I love how the rest of the band creates this nice foundation for the guitarist to really explore the fretboard on here. Moving on to track 2, we have Paranoise, and true to its name, I thought my receiver was on the fritz because it opens with this electronic buzzing noise artifact type thing going on. Now this song in particular is an instrumental, but there is some incoherent chanting going on, which I found very effective. But my favorite element has to be this overdub guitar vamping that goes on throughout this song. Now this song ends abruptly with a literal bang as it drives right into the last song on side C, Cooling Tower. Now I might catch some flack for this, but this song in particular really reminds me of Modest Mouse. It's probably the most indie rock they get on this record. It sort of bucks the trend of this 60s, 70s garage rock, proto-punk, psychedelic sound for this more poppy sound, but I really, really like it. There's some vocalization on here that's just infectious. I have to say that overall, this is probably the happiest sounding song on the record. Opening up side D, we have Drowned Beast. And I gotta be honest, I did not like this song at first, and I still don't think it's one of my favorites. It's just a heavy slog of a song. It feels like you're walking through mud. And what saves this from being way too monotonous are the vocals, and they have this lightness to them, and it really creates this nice counterpoint to the real heavy fuzzed out rhythm section. Also on here are some lovely strings that I think help create a nice base for the vocals to rest in. Closing out the record is Raw Optics, and this one definitely wakes you back up again. The drums on here are fantastic. I mean, they're fantastic throughout the record, but here is where they shine. I mean, the rest of the band literally drops out in the middle of the song, and all you're left with is the rhythm section. And it gets so quiet at times, I swear you could hear a pin drop in the recording studio. And oh my gosh, does it border on some of the greatest pieces of jazz music. I'm telling you, this was incredibly unexpected. It's a 6-minute odyssey that has to be experienced in its whole to really gain the whole picture of it. I can't simply play you these little clips and you guys will understand it. You really need to check it out in its entirety on your own. Highly encourage you guys to do that. Okay. Wow, if I haven't said enough already, this is a fantastic record, and maybe I'm coming at it because this is my first experience of the OCs, and maybe it's not their best record in their volume of 18 other records. I really don't know, so I could be a little biased with that. So if you are a fan, I'm definitely curious to know how this ranks within their discography, because man, is it a large discography. I thought King Gizzard had quite a few albums, but man, OCs, 19 albums? And there's no signs of them stopping. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one from them in 2018. Let's talk about the packaging here. On the cover, I love this picture of an orc down here. I can't tell if that's blood or if that's sweat. There's a fly right there. Love this gradation. A huge identifier sticker right here. It says it includes a download. On the back here, get a continuation of that artwork with some smoke coming out. I love this little happy face. Now, this is a double LP. It's a non-gatefold. Now, they both come in these, I would say, almost black and white sleeves. This is the sleeve for record 1. You get a picture of the band, and on the back here, you get lyrics for the songs that have lyrics. And on the record 2, you have, I don't even know what that is. Is that the same image, but at nighttime? I think it is, because you can barely see some posts in there. And on the back there, you get personnel and some credits and whatnot. Let's check out the records themselves here. And I love the simplicity of these labels. Here is side A, there is side B. Here is side C, followed by side D. Well guys, this has been Orc by OCs. If you haven't guessed already, I really enjoyed this album. It was a fantastic listening experience, and I highly encourage you guys to check it out if you haven't already. And if you have, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think. Until then, I wanna thank you guys so much for watching, but I especially wanna thank these viewers who encouraged me to check out this band. I really appreciate it. I am your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.